I want to share with you a really powerful way that can help you in pretty much any situation you may encounter in your life. And it can also help you when you feel overwhelmed or you feel triggered. And it's really supportive to have that base practice also for the path of awakening and healing. Because without that, I see people are far more getting stuck and stumbling, unnecessary, and suffering. So it's a simple way, but I would say it's a profound, liberating way. And we will also do a practice where I shortly guide you through, so you really get an experience of it. But first, let me say I'm Dr. Nicola Madora. I'm a spiritual teacher, holistic psychologist, somatic therapist, and a feminine leader author. And I have worked with thousands of people for 30 years. And I always love to bring things down to the very simplest way that go right to the core and that help us in day-to-day life. Because right now, there's so much going on in the world, and to have really simple ways that work are far more better, I feel, than many of the complicated things that we forget in the midst of when a wave hits us, right? So let me lead you towards that practice first. So here's a way that is integrating both the somatic, the body, the emotions, the mind, and also brings you in touch with your own essence. It brings you home. And we are not practicing bypassing, spiritual bypassing. I don't like it, because for me, and what I teach my students all around the world is, what's in the way is the way. And that is essential. Exactly that block or that wound or that situation in your life that keeps repeating. You have your own scenario. We all do. And it just keeps repeating no matter what we do. Same, just different way, but it's still the same. Yeah? We get stuck in the same despair, or we get stuck in the same betrayals. So this is where life becomes the greatest teacher. And life shows there is something that is hanging. It's like a wheel that just keeps turning for a while and then it hangs. You know that feeling? And we get caught, and we don't want to be caught, but we are. And the longer that goes on, the more it repeats, the more entrenched the groove becomes in our nervous system, in our brains, and in ourselves and our lives. So it doesn't have to be that way. And for that, we need an approach that helps us to address all levels. Actually, it's fairly easy. The only issue we have is we keep running away from what's uncomfortable. We want to avoid certain experiences and especially certain feelings and parts of ourselves that we maybe don't like, are scared of. And so we keep running away. But I've seen in my own life and with all the people that I work with, it doesn't work. Where are you running to? It just goes with you. And there it is again. At some point, it's not funny anymore, right? So the other thing is, we just keep playing out the same issue and wondering what's wrong with us. That is also a very destructive, well, I call it a defense mechanism, which is do the same thing, and we're hurting ourselves. Yeah, when you rummage in the same sense of worthlessness, or you rummage in the same doubt and fears and anxiety and try to understand it. And that's all very nice, but it's still on the surface. So there are a lot of band-aids given in this world right now because people are desperate. And when we're desperate, we try anything. But then it's back again. So for one thing, it's to come into acceptance first. That's where we begin. It's not where we end, but that's where we begin. To come into acceptance, that thing that you keep tripping over is here. And it's here until you truly meet it. This is important. Until it's truly met, it will keep showing up at your door or in your living room. And it will keep pounding, it will keep crying, it will keep hurting. So that's when we then run away from that, our life becomes very small because more and more we need to run away, we need to close down, we need to shut down to this one dragon in the room. And in that dragon, there is actually a gift. And so we keep missing the gift as well. But the dragon is in chains and is hurting. So what if we turn towards what's scaring us? We turn towards what's aching in us. I promise you, I truly put my hand in the fire for that. Whatever you're seeking in your life is right in there. So if we're looking for worth, you meet it in the worthlessness. If you're looking for greater love, you meet it in your heartbreak. If you're looking for connectedness, you meet it in your loneliness. Now that it can just trip the mind, but stay with me. It's like the Sphinx at the door of the temple. You need to meet whatever is here. And there are a lot of spiritual practitioners who are wonderful. They're just saying, you know, I'm being with it. Just being with it is one step, but it's not meeting that peace inside of you that's crying out for you. We need a little bit more than that. And usually what we're afraid of is simply our emotions. And we tell ourselves a story rather than feeling the feels. Now, when you tell yourself a story, you have noticed you go on a loop. It keeps going. But when we stop, and then what we do is we go through the body, because any feeling, you've heard it probably, truly felt lasts 60 seconds. And in our body, everything is stored. And sometimes it's really scary to go to the body and allow ourselves to feel. It's like we're numb. We can't quite feel that. What we do for that, we need to travel both. Go to the source, and go to meet our friend at the door. So become friends, but meet that one. So the resource is usually something very simple, like what's really nourishing for you in this moment. Do that. I'll do it with you. I'll start guiding you into it if you're ready. Well, just look around in the room where you are, or outside, or in your car, it doesn't matter where, and look what feels nourishing and safe. The nervous system needs to feel safe. Otherwise, nothing opens up. So just notice what feels safe, what's nourishing. It can be in your body, it can be in your environment. And for a moment, rest your eyes onto, maybe it's a plant, maybe it's a beautiful tree, maybe it's a warm feeling in your heart. Rest your attention onto it and breathe into it, like you're really breathing it in. That safety, that nourishment. And you might find your body starts a little bit relaxing or rocking. And then also what's important as a resource is the earth, to just feel your weight, your body being held from underneath. That brings a lot of safety. So drop your weight down. She holds you in any case. You can let your shoulders drop, your jaw. And then take something light for this practice, not your deepest trigger and not your trauma. For trauma, you do need a professional, but just something that is here in your present experience that's uncomfortable or that's tense in the body, contracted. Notice where you feel that sensation. We go to the sensation. Where do you feel it in the body? Can be in the belly, often it's in the solar plexus if we have fears. And rather than trying to get rid of, trying to fix this, or trying to force yourself to relax, and that's not the way, it's violence. I invite you in this moment to see what it's like, to accept, aha, with some loving curiosity, aha, here is some tension. And if you can't accept it, then accept the resistance to it. And we go in bite sizes, and this is really a small practice. There's much more to it, but for now, so come back and you just breathe into that area. And with the out breath, you open your mouth. You're breathing out through the mouth. And see what it's like to just accept, okay, there's an area in me that feels tense. What is there, some fear? And bring your kind curiosity to it. We're not here to dissect it or analyze it. And allow yourself to drop the story about it. You may notice how fast the mind goes into story. Don't go there. Put the story on the shelf right now. Come back and breathe into that dense or contracted area. On the out breath, open your mouth. Breathe out. And just be curious, what's the shape of it? Is it big? You might see a color, you might experience it as a hard ball, you might experience it as a fire. And again, in this moment, all we're doing is to be curious, to discover with a warm attentiveness. So to get to know your friend, the kind of friend you wanted to keep out of your house. Breathe. And again, notice the nourishment that's here in the room. Breathe that in and breathe out through that area that needs you. You might already feel there is a lightness, or it becomes lighter, not so intense. Because whatever we turn to from our loving presence starts to feel more safe. Breathe to it. You can put your hand on it, on that place, and feel the weight dropping onto the earth. And then just inwardly, you might turn to your friend and say, welcome. That what is already there, that what is already walking with you probably most of your life, that what keeps tripping you. Welcome. Stay present, because we need our presence. But we also need that loving embrace. Welcome. Whether I like that one or don't like that one, doesn't matter. Welcome. You're here. And there is the key. You are here as a greater presence, as calling in right now, waking up inside of you. That loving presence, that mother that you wished you had, that father, that if you can't find it inside of you, call in a friend that you trust, a holy being to aid you. Because now we're going to allow what you feel, truly feel. And again, nobody has died from feeling. Just breathe in, and whatever you feel is okay. It might not feel okay. Just allow that, what is here, for once. That can be anger, that can be pain, that can be fear. Breathe. And begin to touch that one, hold that one, meet that one. From that mother in you, that loving in you. The one who can say what you're feeling, what you're experiencing is welcome. And I am here with you. So this is very simple. And just notice what you experience when you give that to the one who's been knocking on your door forever long. When you give it room to be here, to be welcome, to feel. And if you like, you can listen in what this one is actually wanting to express to you and needs. There might be a sense of I don't feel worthy. I feel worthless. Everybody rejects me. Whatever that is in you, you welcome that. You don't go on fixing it. You embrace that. Yes, it hurts feeling rejected. And in my eyes, you are precious. Even when you feel worthless. So this is a short piece, but you can already probably feel there's far more to that. And it's really important to take one's time. It's really, really crucial to not tell this friend how they should feel different, and to not go and let the mind say things like, yeah, but that's not true. Yeah, well, you should know you're good enough. It doesn't help. It really creates even more violating space. But rather, you want to treat the one, for example, who feels worthless as worthy. Because the nervous system and our whole being actually resonates more with, it lands more when we experience a different way how we're being related to. Some people had parents who couldn't handle emotions, and they were constantly, guarding themselves, but also unconsciously teaching their children how to cut off from feelings. And then every feeling is a horror for a child because it's not allowed. You have to push it down. You don't know where. And more you get, the child gets bottled up and is living on constant anxiety because whatever is underneath is just too big. especially it's too big to handle alone. And that's the piece that we have not learned in our, and often from our parents and from our society, that it's actually very human to feel all sorts of feelings and have all sorts of experiences as we incarnated on this earth. And that there is a way to walk through it. And that actually opens you to your true nature. So, but that's a whole other piece to convey that I'm not going to get into right now. I hope this helped you to get a taste, but also to have a different approach. Remember, it's not about fixing. It's not about trying to get rid of. It's about truly meeting from your loving presence what is screaming out for you all your life. And that's what I bring into my retreats, into trainings, into sessions. And you can connect to that on nicolaamadora.com. Remember, you're precious as you are.